So hello, hi, it's Tom. All right, so this is not your typical video, but I don't really have a typical video because I make all kinds of different videos. Anyway, so today I wanted to talk about something that happened to me recently, which yeah, I just wanted to talk about it, so I'm going to talk about it, and yeah, maybe some of you will find it interesting, and if you don't, sorry. So here's the situation. All right, my current apartment lease is running out at the end of May. And I do have the option to renew, so I could potentially stay where I am. But I'm in a very small studio. I have two cats who love to wake me up at all hours of the night and or morning. So the idea of having maybe a one bedroom where I can close the door, I mean they would scratch at it and meow, but still, that's appealing. So because my lease is running out, I've been looking around to see if there's any viable options in the area that I could potentially upgrade to, which wouldn't be too much more expensive than my current place. So I've been working with this realtor from a real estate agency because that's where realtors work in the area, and he the other day he messaged me telling me about this really nice apartment that's fairly cheap, not too far away, has an in-unit washer and dryer, dishwasher, one bedroom, just sounded fantastic. So I hurried and rushed over to the showing because it was I mean, it was a great apartment, so I knew it wasn't going to last long. So I went and I saw it. The second I walked into the place, I was like, this is like it just felt like home. Like have you ever done that? I don't know. But that's happened to me before where like I've walked into an apartment and it just felt right. And I knew that I would have a great time living there. So I was like, yes, I want to get this apartment. This would be great. So the woman from the landlord company who was showing us the apartment basically told me like, we need someone to move into this really soon, and there's lots of interest. I'm having 7 showings tomorrow, so if you want it, you better get in there soon. I was like, okay, I'll submit an application tonight. I'm gonna get in there, and then she said, we could have rented it already, but we're looking for a quality applicant, and like. When I heard that, I was kind of like, huh, that sounds like the kind of thing people say when they're about to be really racist or homophobic or transphobic or some variety of awful. But I'm like, okay, benefit of the doubt. Maybe she just meant, someone who has a good credit score or someone who, has an income that will allow them to actually, pay for the apartment or something like that. So off I went. I filled out the application and like I'm rushing through. I have to like provide proof of my income and all this other stuff, and like I'm like documents, typing. It took me about an hour. I got it done. I sent it out. I'm like, okay, we'll see what happens. So then later that night, I got an email, and it said that they had encountered a red flag when running my credit check, and I needed to contact Equifax immediately to find out what was going on. So I'm like, well, shit. That's probably because I changed my name legally last year. Now, I was told that the credit reporting bureaus would automatically update that because I updated my name in everything, my banks and everything else. And all the other ones have updated, but Equifax apparently did not get the message. So, called them up. They were like, I explained the situation. They were like, oh yeah, your old name is still in here, so they can run the check using your old name and it'll be fine. I'm like, I don't want to do that. So could we just change my name? So I was on the phone with them for a really long time, and I had to like submit my name change documents and like my ID and my social security card and all this other stuff. Finally, the guy is like, okay, we've done it. It should be good now. It's in there. I've changed your name. We're good. So I went back to the landlord and was like, okay, you can run the credit check again. It should be fine. There was an issue with my name, but now it's fixed. Da-da. So I get another message from them. Same problem, same red flag. What the hell? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to lose out on this apartment if they can't run this credit check like ASAP. So I debated for a while, and then finally I came clean with them. I didn't say I am trans, but I said like, oh, well, actually I had my name legally changed last year. Equifax said that they updated it, but apparently it's not updated yet. Here's my old name. Try running it under this. So they came back to me and was like, and they were like, "Oh, okay. We need you to send us your name change documentation." Like, okay, and your birth certificate. And I'm like, what? Why the hell would you need my birth certificate? So I wrote back to them and I'm like, here's my name change documentation. I'm not sure why you need my birth certificate because you have my ID, my social security card, various other forms of identification, and my name change certification. So after I said that, they were like, oh, okay, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We were able to run the check. Thank you. So like, okay, phew, all right, we did it. Let's hope they're not transphobic. Let's do it. So cut to the next day, and I get a text from Keith, the realtor guy, who is very cool. I really like him. And he says, yeah, I just spoke to the woman at the landlord. They said they don't feel comfortable moving forward with your application because your credit check had some red flag that you could be doing identity fraud or something. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I wrote back down, I explained the situation. I'm like, well, what happened was I'm trans. I outright told him, I'm like, I'm trans. I changed my name last year. I sent them my name change documentation. They said they were able to run the credit check. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe they're being discriminatory. I don't know. And he's like, okay, I completely understand. That's really messed up if they're doing that. I will try to contact them and get this straightened out. So he finally manages to contact them because, like, we were theorizing that maybe the people running the credit check didn't get the information about my name change to the person at the head landlord person, and they just saw, like, oh, this is a credit report from someone with a different name. How odd. Okay, that's a red flag. So, okay, Darla is opening the curtain right now with her body because she wants me to be flooded in sunlight. Yeah, so so Keith was like trying to get a hold of this woman at the landlord agency. Finally got a hold of her to explain the situation. And then he comes back to me and he's like, yeah, they're still going to deny your application because I'm trying to think exactly what he said. Hang on, let me check my text. Yeah, he said, okay, so first they were like, well, they've decided to deny your application because they're really looking for someone who can move in on this date. And I said, well, I put in my application that I could move in on that date. So silence for a little while. He's like, well, now they're saying that, there's too many late payments on your credit report. I'm like, well, I'm looking at my credit report right now and there are 0 late payments on it. So, yeah, long story short, like, they came up with all these bullshit reasons why they didn't want to rent to me that were easily proven false. So the only conclusion I can draw is that they don't want to rent to a trans person. So, I mean, there's a possibility that that's not what's going on. Maybe maybe they're just, but I mean, like, I don't see what other conclusion I could draw. So that sucks because the apartment was really nice and I would have really liked living there. But renting from a transphobic landlord would not be fun. So, yeah, so I think in the end, it's better that I'm not renting from those people. But it also sucks because those people are out there and, like, there's no way that you can challenge this kind of thing because, they can come up with some reason to explain it, some reason to say why it's not just them being weirded out by the idea of a trans person living in their building. I'm not a quality applicant, apparently. But yeah, so that's what I've been stressing about for the last 2 days. But yeah, the good news is I'm looking at another apartment on Friday or Saturday, and my current landlords are being really cool about everything. Like, they already know about me because when I moved in, I had not transitioned yet, and then I sent them my name change paperwork, so I know that they're not transphobic. And they said they're even willing to, like, extend my lease a little bit and then get me into a 1-bedroom in one of their buildings at some point. So that might be what ends up happening, but whatever the case, I mourn for the washer dryer, I mourn for the beautiful apartment, but in the end, what can you do? Sadly, nothing. So yes. So that is my story. I wanted to share with you guys because, yeah, it can be rough. Like, and I know obviously I'm not the only person who has ever experienced this kind of discrimination, and as a white person who is male appearing, I suffer from less discrimination than a lot of people. All right, well, that's all I wanted to share with you guys, so I hope you all are doing well, and hopefully at some point in the future I will be able to tell you about a fantastic new apartment that I have found, which fulfills my every dream, except maybe the washer dryer, because that's really hard to find, and does not involve renting from a transphobe. So, okay. All right, I will talk to you guys later. Hope you're having a wonderful day or night or morning or afternoon or dusk or dawn or whatever time of day it may happen to be. I will see you next time. Okay, bye.